So we're right on the uphill east side of this 2072 Frank Slawson Road property. And so we're on the road frontage here. There's a very visible survey pin marker right here. And so this would be your road frontage. It's actually got a ton of road frontage. We go down on this beautiful little curve here, slightly downhill, and then it S-curves back in down towards where the house is itself. So I'm right in this upland wood section, and I'm gonna pop in right in here, and I'll take a quick look at what the forest section looks like, and then we'll come down, do a little bit around the house, and then we'll go down into the open fields on the lower open section. Well, I actually haven't gone that far yet. We're still right on the road frontage. I haven't gone in yet, but I'm already seeing a little drainage trough here. So like a little upland drainage current under the road. So you have probably some water for game right there. And then check this out. There's already like this cool little mini meadow right here along the road. I don't know how well you can see that, but that looks neat. And then right ahead of me is what looks like an actual established entry into the parcel here. So there's actually a small meadow, and yeah, pretty sure we have a culvert right here and a semi driveway. So this could be a great secondary access point. Yeah, 100%. We've got infrastructure here. You've got a metal culvert and a little stone lip here, so you could pull vehicles right into here, into this small meadow. This property could probably be subdivided, and I mean, this would be a great secondary cabin site right up here. And then the house is not far away, but it is down this little slope. So this upland section does feel quite distinct and very different from the lower level, which I always like that variety. Yeah, pretty neat. So this is that upland drainage stream. Again, I wouldn't call this like maybe a year-round stream. We are in mid-July right now, but it's still going, and we've had a relatively dry summer, so that's a good sign. And it's not huge. The course here is only 3-4 feet wide, so it's just a drainage, but it's a cool feature, and that would bring wildlife and biodiversity as well. So I'm still hugging-ish the far east boundary, so it's something like over here. But I've been going through this mixed deciduous and pine forest, and it is really neat. There are some small saplings reforesting a bit, but you still have a healthy amount of this ferny forest undergrowth. I think even at this huge tree over here, there's an old tree stand. Let me go check that out. And actually, like between that little water source and everything I'm seeing, I've seen tons of various animal signs. So there's abundant wildlife on this property for sure. There's a massive maple tree up here. Yeah, it's hard to get a proper shot of it, but this maple has some steps up to a tree stand up there, and that is a big old tree. Beautiful tree. So I'll continue in from the road. So what we're working our way towards is the farthest from the road section right now. And then we'll hit that line. We'll see what that looks like. Look at this gorgeous ferny forest meadow here. Goodness. And then we'll drop downhill towards the home site. This is sweet. I think this must come off of that little meadow that I started off on at the side of the road, because there's these flagging tapes kind of marking off this old trail. It looks like a quad trail here, and it curls on through. So that is super cool. Okay, so right there is our rebar in the old split tree, and that is our back property corner. So that's the innermost we are from the road. So for some context, we are, so I don't actually know who's putting these orange ribbons up. There's a lot of orange ribbons. I think they're marking a trail, but basically if you were to take a line from here in this direction, you'd be headed out towards Frank Slawson. So we're the farthest in from the road at this point. And this forest has been super cool. It's very level or very lightly sloped on this top end. As I go down towards the house in this direction, it will start to drop down and be a little bit of a hill. But from here, you had that meadow entry off of Frank Slawson on that, we're gonna call that like the upland section. And that I think leads into this little trail network and up into here. And this is just a gorgeous mix of fern-filled little mini meadows, quiet mixed deciduous woods, There's not a lot of main roads nearby, so you don't have a lot of distant car traffic or anything. Very, very nice, kind of serene solitude, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty darn nice up here. It's really neat. I like how there's these little pockets of sky opening up. So I'm now following this back line, so I'm headed kind of west, almost like straight west at this point, headed downhill, or starting to head downhill towards the house, so the house will pop up. Oh, I'm seeing a couple of deer hopping through the field down below. I don't know if you caught that, but I'm just gonna come up down here. We'll be coming out of these woods in just a little bit, and the house will just be to our left at that point. So here's another little quad trail. I am mid-woods. What's behind me is the larger section of what I'm calling upland woods. Really nice mixed deciduous woods, some fern meadows, a couple of quad trails, and did find the back survey corner, found the roadside survey pin as well. So boundaries are quite knowable on this one. And then as I pop down here right through this last little bit of woods, we'll be opening up into like the home site essentially. So the home will be just over to our left as we come through here. And I love this property because it's not huge, it's not steep, has a ton of road frontage, has the house, which is in great condition on the full foundation, which you don't find every day. You got the wraparound asphalt driveway for convenience, as well as the large spacious deck on top where you can have great distant views. And those are all the main features, but for people that are interested in like, what does the rest of the property look like? You know, it looks like this. And it's pretty consistent. A few pine trees, mostly mixed deciduous, a lot of saplings, but still some trails. And without really much work at all, you could continue to develop a really cool hiking or quad or horseback or mountain bike little trail network back here. And then I am just, as I get through these trees, we'll be popping out into this lovely, large, field lawn area. This is amazing. It's no wonder the deer love it up here. Look at this beautiful meadow. Oh yeah, so he does. He just has his trail coming right from I'm not even gonna pan to the house yet. I'm gonna keep you in suspense. But yeah, just panning here from the back, you have going into his trail network there. So if you were to continue forward, that's off the property, but this trail will hug the back line and hook up to all those orange markers I saw. And then check this out. So this is our view from up here on 2072 Frank Slawson. And this top corner of the meadow is delightful. It actually levels off just enough before you go into the woods. I would probably be highly tempted to put an auxiliary little cabiny, sheltery, pavilion-y, gazebo-y, decky thing up here and maximize the height of this view. But that is super cool. So what's happening is this back line is going to continue to get narrower and our road is going to pinch in from that side. So we're headed down towards eventually a point in the distance. So you have this super long road frontage from somewhere way down there all the way up past the house, and then all the way squiggling up through the woods where I was earlier, and then it cuts in and down on this side. So we're on the decreasing side of this isosceles triangle here, but man, gosh, I could just stand in this meadow and babble all day long. This is unreal out here. So I generally like to be pretty thorough on these. So what I will do is I'm just gonna go a little further just to get all the views, different angles of this elevated view, and then I'll pop down to the lower meadow here. Then there's another lower meadow, and then I'll go all the way through the truncation point. These pines are starting to pop up. There's a turkey right here underneath the pines, just hanging out. I scared up deer a minute ago. This is honestly just a natural haven right here. This is also an awesome spot right here under this tree. There's a couple little rocks. It's kind of flat on this little mound. And that's a nice place to spend some time. Yeah, the more I think about this, this has like mini hobby farmstead written all over it. Not just because these little tractors in front of me, but just because of the really nice slopes. These, I don't know if you can tell, but these are a couple of really nice looking apple trees. All right, so this rock wall here is our back line. Really nice. Well, you've got dismiss that. So there's a elevated hunting blind up there as well with a ladder down below. But yeah, this is all set up with like kind of like farm infrastructure in place, or at least, you know, access. I mean, this is just, it's a nice open meadow. It doesn't feel like doesn't feel like too much meadow, and it doesn't feel like too little meadow. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but to me it does. So there's that elevated blind house up through there, and then here's kind of like your lower field, a whole nother section. And I mean, honestly, this screams like potential to divide into future other residential lots or like supplementary housing sites. Big thick bramble of berries down there. That's probably a former garden, maybe. And then I don't think that's beaver sticks. I think that's just a pile. This is all berries now. This just looks like it was a cluster of trees that were probably removed. And then again, your house is just up through there. But this little stand of trees in this middle area here, very, very pretty. I think you can tell when I like a property, I get like quieter and more pensive, and I dawdle. I don't just move right on. All right, so as I turn around here, we're at this west corner. So you have another really nice open meadow here. And again, like, I'm not trying to say this needs to be subdivided, but this much frontage really allows for some flexibility. This is kind of level here. And you got town maintained road, power, internet, all the good stuff right there. This is a neat property, man. 23.31 acres, house, woods, meadows, mixed stone walls, features, a little bit of a upland wooded stream, a little bit of a lowland depression stream, just kind of everything